believes I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I'm Courtney. How are you? I am trying to enjoy this day off. It is my Sunday, so I am kind of torn between getting some things done that I need to do, but also relaxing and being outside and enjoying the world. I love going down and just sitting in the tall grass. And I wouldn't mow my grass except for the fact that it's a fire hazard if I don't. And my neighbors, I'm sure, would frown upon it. But I just love tall grass. There's something about a field, a field with like a random oak tree here and there or a random willow tree here and there. And these tall grass that's like nice, soft, lush grass that just sways. I just love it. I love taking pictures of bugs in the grass, just getting all down in there, laying in the grass and just laying there. And so I'm down on my property right now, just sitting in the grass, hanging out with my dogs and throwing the ball for them and letting them chill out. We could all take a lesson from a dog and roll around in the grass a bit. Dogs got it going on, Rolling around the grass seems like they're enjoying it quite a bit. Maybe we should do that. So what is on my mind? This is probably going to be a quick podcast today. I am exceptionally exhausted. I am so tired today. And, sometimes your body just goes, all right, and you're KO'd. You are tapped out, down for the count. Time to just relax. Lay down. Take a time out. I wish that, when you were in school, you would have nap time and they would put you on those mats, And God, my healers are attacking. They'd put those mats out and you'd be like, man. Now it's like, God, adults would kill for nap time. I think, do they still do siestas in different countries? A siesta is just a nap, right? Or does it mean when they close down and from a certain time, a specific time, and that means everybody chills out? Because that's a great idea. I guess that's just essentially lunch, a long lunch break, I suppose. But on that note, I thought about this, and I don't know if Google actually does this. I should talk about things that I actually know what the hell I'm talking about and not just pull shit out my ass, but that was weird. I don't know if that ended up recording or not, but I got a phone call. Oh, my dog is like, whoa, throw the ball. I got a phone call in the middle of my podcast. Where is the ball? Come here, bring it here. I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. I know being a dog and frolicking and nap time and getting back to basics with, if we could all take a lesson from a dog and just kind of roll around in the grass and, take a little nap and be content with just being outside. Depending on where you live, you probably don't really want to be outside a whole lot. But now I don't know what I was talking about. Darn it. This is when I need to just start my podcast over and not do the podcast. This is when professionals would edit and they would be like, all right, cut. And then you do the whole thing over again. But I'm not going to do that because, as you know, I'm not professional. So I guess we'll just move on. Gosh, I'm sure I was talking about something very wise and very knowledgeable and so interesting. No, we all know that's not true. But Puck, go get the ball. He's having a cow because this ball thing, we have not thrown the ball yet. And Mo has decided, that's one of my dogs, to hold the ball hostage. So hi. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. You guys are just so amazing. And I really just can't, I can't believe that people are tuning in. I can't believe people are listening more than once. I know that I don't really talk about anything remotely interesting, and I don't phrase things very well, and you can hear all of my nonsense. Hey, Gwen, oh my God, I wish you guys could see this. I've got one dog on her lead outside because she wanders off really, really bad and she can't be trusted anymore. She's lost her wandering privileges. So she's tied up to a lead. And don't worry, she has a long lead and it can go all over the place. And I'm right next to her, but she's tied up to a lead. And my other dog is pulling the lead, like pulling it backwards, as in, like, get over here, because Bonnie, my dog that's tied up to the lead, was trying to like take off. And obviously she can't because she's attached. And then my healer was like, no, you get over here, and grabbed a hold of the lead and started pulling her back, started hurting her like a true healer. Anyways, sidetracked by shiny things. Squirrel. But thank you. I can't believe people are tuning in and people are listening more than once. That is awesome. I appreciate it because, like I said, I don't really discuss anything that is, I'm not like Ben Shapiro where I've got all these facts and everything. I'm just kind of talking about how I feel, and sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes I say it maybe a little more professional than other times. And sometimes I may have something remotely I don't want to say wise, but remotely decent to say. And other times, I'm just genuinely talking from my heart and about things that are on my mind. And that may or may not come out eloquently or professionally or sound, like a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I'm not here to, do this just in. This is not where you need to go to get your facts, it's just where you go when you want to hear someone that has been through some stuff and is trying to work it out and trying to be honest about it. And in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, there are other people out there that can relate. And maybe possibly it helps somebody to know that there's other people out there that are going through some crap and this is how they deal with it. And maybe you deal with it kind of the same way. And you're like, wow, it's nice to know that I am not the only one. Or maybe you tune in because you just know that I'm an idiot and you're like, this joker, this idiot over here, listen to her. But whatever your reasons are for listening, I appreciate it. Even if it's because you think I'm an idiot and you just enjoy the train wreck that is my life. Oh my gosh, my dog got herself all wound up. Holy cow, Bonnie, how do you do this to yourself? Girlfriend, really? She just got herself completely wound up. Anyway, what on earth is going on with my phone right now? I'm trying to record this episode, and maybe I should take this full thing as I shouldn't record it. What is going on? Hello? Holy cow, I have no idea what was just recorded and what wasn't. This could be probably my worst podcast yet because I'm not used to this recording setup that I have. And all of a sudden it changed. I have a new phone on top of a new recording thing, and I'm not used to it. And it's just turning into a big shit show. So I have no idea how much of that was actually recorded. Or if my phone call was recorded. I don't know. This is probably when I should take my cue and be like, this is not the time to be recording my podcast right now. I need to close up shop and get back to this later. But I'm not going to do that because this is just how I roll. If I don't do it now, I won't do it later. We all know this. So it's happening. This is what's happening, guys. Welcome to all that is the ramblings. Oh, and see, and then you even listen to my dog's getting snarky. Bonnie, you're just a rude biatch, though. You're just a crotchety lady. this is my life. And so you get to hear every aspect of my life, the good and the bad. I'm not going to edit it out. And that may or may not be your cup of tea. And if it's not, I get it. Who wants to hear dogs barking in the background, and who wants to hear my phone ringing? And, not everybody. But to those of you that still do tune in, even when I'm genuinely rambling about the most ridiculous, nonsensical things, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And it means a lot. Pucky, where is your ball? Honest to gravy. How do you guys always lose this? I swear to God, if you guys, this is like the tennis graveyard. My property is a tennis graveyard. I have probably single-handedly kept any tennis ball company in business because my dogs are obsessed with tennis balls, but they lose at least one tennis ball a day. And then one day I'll be mowing or I'll be working on the property or just walking around, and all of a sudden I'll run into tennis balls. And I'm like, all right, we're restocked again. Woo! We're restocked. We've got tennis balls for days. And I'll find like 5 of them. And I'm like, yay. And then the next day we're down to 1 again. I don't know how this happens. Pucky, go find your ball. Mo has 1. Nora has 1. We used to have 3. Can you count to 3? So, what is on your mind? What has been keeping you guys awake? What are some things that are bothering you or making you happy? What are some things that we can focus on that are good right now? What is the good? Well, the good seems to be people are waking up. Seems to be people are seeing the Biden administration for what it is. It seems like people are realizing that our country isn't doing so hot, isn't doing so well. And we're wanting to invest in it again, it seems like. And we're realizing that being together as one, working together as a team, united as the United States of America is always a good thing. Working together is always great and beneficial for a country. So I like that. I like seeing the support for Trump in New Jersey. I like seeing some of these celebrities that are waking up. I would like to know why anybody is still voting for Biden if they are. I don't mean that in a snarky way. I don't mean that in a rude way. I mean that in a genuinely, I want to understand where you're coming from way. I want to know where what your reasonings are, why you feel what you feel he has done for this country. I just want to hear that. But Mo, for real, you don't have the ball. He doesn't have the ball right now, so he's throwing a fit. So I want to hear from you, and I want to hear from you on how your country is doing. Russia, Germany, France, Singapore, Canada, Australia, Japan, Hong Kong, China, all of y'all. How are you doing? How are your countries doing? Greece, Switzerland, I don't know, Ethiopia. How are you guys doing? How are you holding up? Like, I hate when you're having a bad day and someone's like, if I say something like, I am starving. Well, I obviously don't feel that I'm literally starving, but people used to always go, starving? You're not starving. You're an American. You're not starving. There are starving kids in Ethiopia. I get that there's always going to be someone that has it worse, no matter what I'm going through. Someone out there, I'm sure, has it worse. And I get where people are coming from when they say that. They're trying to prove a point that maybe things are bad, but things can always be worse, and things are worse for other people. So be grateful for what you have. That's great. But again, emotions are emotions, and I'm allowed to feel sad. I'm allowed to feel angry. I'm allowed to feel, obviously starving. I'm not being literal when I say that, but when people are constantly comparing your pain and as if you don't have a right, like some guy got on Clapper the other day and was like, well, there was a guy that was asking, hey, gas prices in my neck of the woods is something like $2.11 or something, 2.11, something like that. I feel like he was in Mississippi. I can't remember, Mississippi, Alabama, something like that. And some guy from Canada got on there and was basically like, screw you, in Canada, it's like $7. And F you, United States, quit your bitching. Things are a lot cheaper in the United States than they are here. You have no right to bitch. And it's like, okay, but gas used to be $2.11 here in Oregon when Trump in 2020 or in 2016, it was $2.11. And no, I'm sorry, it was 2020. It was $2.11. And just because now gas prices may be cheaper here in different, like in Oregon, it's between $4.11 and $4.39 per gallon. But just because things might be cheaper here in the US does not mean we're not allowed to complain about the fact that it's doubled. Gas prices have doubled. So whether or not it's cheaper in Canada is completely irrelevant because we do have a right to be upset. We do have a right to complain and bitch because the fact that gas prices have doubled. That's a lot. Double is a lot. Same with food. Everything has doubled. And that's something that we absolutely have the right to be upset by. But at the same token, I get what people are saying because you should be grateful for what you have. You should be grateful if you're still alive and breathing. You should be grateful if you have shelter, if you have food, if you have clothes, if you have power, if you have clean water. There are people in many countries that don't have clean water. There are people that are in a lot of countries that do not have it even close to as good as Americans do. I've done podcasts and clappers and TikToks and everything about this. If you were born in America, you're automatically privileged, even if you're homeless. Even before the Biden administration decided to give free shit to every homeless and illegal immigrant, even before that, you still are more privileged as a homeless person in America than you are in a third world country. Because even a homeless person in America, you have access somewhere you can get clean running water. Somewhere you can go to a food bank. And we waste food all the time. I cannot stand it when kids waste food. I also hate it when parents give them too much food to begin with. Start out with a small amount. You can't expect a kid to eat a lot of food. If they're still hungry, give them more, but start out with a small amount. But the waste that we have as Americans because we are so ungrateful, we really are. And the far left has really put an emphasis on just how ungrateful and entitled and spoiled Americans are. But if you were born in America, automatically right from the get-go, you are privileged. So I know that if I complain about certain things, I'm aware that there are other countries in which people are quite literally starving and living on the streets that are dirt, disease-ridden, rat-infested streets. And I get that people don't have access to clean water. And so I understand that I have it far, far better than a lot of people. And I am very grateful for that. I have never been anything but grateful by that and appreciative. I've always been thankful and appreciative. But once in a while, because I'm a human, because I have a brain and I have emotions, the human's going to come out. And sometimes I'm going to be a brat. Sometimes I'm going to be spoiled. Sometimes I'm going to be ungrateful and entitled. And sometimes I'm going to be rude. And sometimes I'm going to be mean. And sometimes I'm going to be obnoxious and anxious and fearful and scared. And I'm not going to be a perfect human because we're human. And that's just not what we do. We're not perfect. Thank the Lord we are not. Or thank whomever that we are not. Thank our moms and dads. So I was thinking about that. The whole, when people say, I'm starving and someone's like, they're starving kids in Ethiopia. I guess we should stop saying starving, I suppose. But also people just need to, come on. We don't need to take it literally. Although I do hate it when people use the word literally all the time, like the Kardashians are always like, literally. And this kid that used to live with us would say the word literally every sentence. And I mean the word literally. It didn't even matter if the word literally applied or not. He would say it all the time. If saying the word literally were a drinking game and you had to drink every time he said the word literally, you would be hammered You would be so schnockered off in the first like freaking 20 minutes. You'd be shit-faced. But I mean, I've done it. I've used the word literally when I do not mean literally. It reminds me of that episode on Big Bang Theory where he's like, literally, because, he's the same way. He's like, don't use the word literally when it's not literal. Don't misuse words. Just like the word racist or bigot or homophobic. I mean, homophobic means you're scared of gay people. Who is scared of gay people? A phobia is scared. Phobia is scared. Who's scared of a drag queen? Who's scared of gay people? Scared? Is that the right term? Bigot, racist, reverse racism, by the way. Reverse racism, not a word, not a thing, not a saying. Racism is racism. It refers to all races, regardless of what that race is. And speaking of that, has anyone ever actually been called a honky or a cracker? Attention, all Caucasians. I have a question, genuine. Have you ever actually been called a honky or a cracker? Does anyone ever say that? Has anyone ever said that? Has that ever been a thing? I want to know. Because I've never been called that. I've never heard anybody else been called that. I've never seen it on anything. I don't feel like that's a thing. I don't know. Anyway, honky and cracker. Honky and cracker. That's interesting. So like I said, this is a quick little episode, just kind of checking in, rambling, doing what I do best, making no sense whatsoever and recording it all for you guys to enjoy. Oh my God, my dog is wrapped up again. Bonnie, how do you do this? We need all types. We need the not so smart and the smart, We need the cute. We need the ugly. We need the in-between. Anyway, so wherever you are, whatever you're up to, I hope you are doing it with good intentions. Intent is important, What are your intentions today? What are your intentions today? Are your intentions to get stuff done around the house? To get stuff done outside, to go to work, to be the best boss or employee, employer, coworker, friend, parent you can be? Are your intentions to complain? Are your intentions to be grateful? Are your intentions to sleep and relax because your body needs it? Wherever your intentions are, I hope they are good. We certainly need more of that. You can't have enough good, right? So go out and do whatever you're going to do with intent. I suppose even if it's malicious, I mean, if you're going to do it well. I don't know. Probably shouldn't apply to malicious things, but I hope that you go out with a good heart, with gratitude, with kindness, with grace. We definitely need to show more grace. There's not a lot of that going on. So whatever your intentions are today, I hope they are good. And I hope that you remember that today is another day. So set your sights on what you want to accomplish. Again, even if it's just brushing your teeth. If you're like, I'm going to brush my teeth today, that is what I have the energy for. Okay, at least you've done it. At least you said you were going to do something and you followed through with it. That is the first step. So thank you again for listening to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. Until next time.